Today, we'll be talking about the most sinister, the most diabolical villain in anime. Not only did this man kill his own father, not only did this man kill his own brother, but this man did it all with a smile on his face. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today we'll be talking about DOFLAMINGO. Before we talk about the demon DOFLAMINGO that we know today, let's take a trip to the past to see how the heavenly demon was created. Let's go back 33 years when DOFLAMINGO was just a kid living in Marie Joyce with his family. At that time, him and his family were celestial dragons. If y'all don't know what celestial dragons are, they're the top of the top in the One Piece universe. Nobody can mess with them. They make all the decisions. They live the good life. They're basically royalty. So at that time, him and his family were living in Marie Joyce, living it up, enjoying the luxury. In that one moment, his dad just randomly pulls up to everybody and tells them, "Hey guys, I want to go down and live with the peasants." And this shocked everyone at Marie Joyce because people don't normally just do that. Because if you don't know what the celestial dragons do, they're pieces of shit. They torture people, they kill people, they take people as slaves. So the regular people don't mess with the celestial dragons. So when his dad said that, everyone was in complete shock because they knew the second that he goes down there, he's gonna be straight up tortured just because he's a celestial dragon. And young DOFLAMINGO, he was not happy about that. Once DOFLAMINGO's dad announced that they're gonna go back down and live with the peasants, this nigga DOFLAMINGO was tight because even though he's a kid, he realized right now that they're living the good life, and if they go back down to live with the peasants, their life is gonna get drastically terrible. But at this moment, he's just a kid. He can't do nothing about it, so he gotta follow his family down, and that's what he does. And once they go down to the real world, this nigga DOFLAMINGO's dad, you could tell he's not like the rest of the celestial dragons. He's a nice and innocent guy. He's not like those demons up there. So he goes up to a street vendor trying to buy some apples from him, and the street vendor asks him, "Are you from here?" And he says, "No, I'm from Marie Joyce." And at that moment, everyone turns around because they know regular people ain't from Marie Joyce. And then they ask him, "Are you a celestial dragon?" And this dumb ass nigga gonna say yes. And everybody's turning around looking at him with utter disgust now because the regular folks, we don't fuck with the celestial dragons because they turn their peoples into slaves. They beat people. They basically treat them like pieces of shit. So everyone turned around in utter disgust right when he said those words. But at that moment, this nigga DOFLAMINGO's dad did not know what he just caused. Later that night, everyone in the town pulls up on them and burns down their house right in front of young Dofi's eyes. And this nigga's just having a hard time right now because not only is his house getting burnt down, but earlier in the day, this nigga, him and his brother were getting beat by sticks because they were trying to steal bread because they didn't have enough money for food. And they got a bunch of group of people just laughing at him. They got a nigga with a panda head just sitting there pointing and laughing at him. If I was in that situation, I would have crashed out too. I went from living the best life possible to the worst life possible that quick. Oh hell nah, I would be tight. Not only did DOFLAMINGO and his brother get beat because they were trying to survive, but later on in the episode, his mother dies. Now this nigga DOFLAMINGO, he just like a 10-year-old at this point, and he's having the worst life possible. And all of his anger is directed towards his father, as it should be, because my nigga, we was living the good life up there, chilling, kicking our feet up, drinking pina coladas. Now we down here getting tortured, living the worst life possible because you just wanted to come down and live with the regular folks and be regular. I understand you different celestial dragon, but everyone views celestial dragons as the same. And you're probably thinking there's no way it could get worse than this. Well, you're wrong. Later that night, a bunch of civilians pull up on them, and I don't know if I can even say this word, but they and they were hung above fire, and their eyes are blindfolded. They're all crying, tearing up, and they're all just ready to kill them. They're trying to burn them alive. And these boys, out of nowhere, just all look up and they're staring at DOFLAMINGO. And this nigga just starts talking shit, saying, "F y'all, I'ma kill every single one of y'all when I get out of here." And at that moment, this little nigga unlocked his conqueror's haki, knocking out everyone right there in front of him. And at that moment, I knew this nigga was gonna be a problem. I could just tell he was gonna turn into a demon. But he was not done there. Once DOFLAMINGO got down, he goes to this nasty, terrible shack where he meets this disgusting, vile nigga, Treble. And this boy Treble gives him a devil fruit and a gun. And young DOFLAMINGO right now, he's burning with hatred inside of his heart because of what his dad just did. He watched his mother get died. He got beaten up because he was trying to get some food. And now he almost got burnt alive. Oh yeah, he's heated. So he takes the devil fruit and he takes the gun, pulls back up on his dad, and blicks this nigga down right in front of his brother. And at that moment, the heavenly demon was born. Now let's skip 16 years into the future. DOFLAMINGO is now a full-blown adult, and he got a whole gang behind him. And they run into this little kid that goes by the name of Law. Law at this time got something called the white lead disease, and he's sick, he about to die. Basically everyone in his town got this disease, and the world government pulled up and killed everybody, including his parents, but Law survived. So at this moment Law got nothing going on for him. He about to die and his parents are dead. This little nigga's depressed, and DOFLAMINGO pulls up on him and gives him hope, telling him, yo, if you roll with us, we gonna find you this devil fruit and you're gonna be able to live. So Law at this moment, he's hearing that he got a little bit of hope now. He happy again. So he decides to roll with DOFLAMINGO and his crew. And they're committing murders. They're robbing people. They're doing the worst of the worst basically. And DOFLAMINGO's brother at that time is still rolling with DOFLAMINGO. So Corazon pulls up on Law and tells Law, yo, you got a D in your name. And if DOFLAMINGO finds out you got that D in your name, he gonna kill you. Cause the people that got the D in their name, they mortal enemies to the celestial dragon. So at that point, Corazon puts Law under his wing and tells him, yo, I'ma protect you and I'ma teach you the ways. Because this nigga DOFLAMINGO is crazy and I don't want him to kill you. But at that moment, DOFLAMINGO doesn't know that his brother is basically a rat. He's working with the world government the whole time. He's thinking his brother can't talk and stuff. Whole time his brother can talk, and he's giving all the information to the world government. But DOFLAMINGO has no clue, and it's gonna turn out bad for Corazon. So it's been about 6 months now. Corazon and Law are traveling around the world trying to find a cure and keeping Law away from DOFLAMINGO. But they end up finding nothing, and DOFLAMINGO calls him saying, yo, we got a lead on where the devil fruit is. Come bring Law back. Once Corazon hears that, he decides he's gonna intercept the devil fruit before they get it, and he actually succeeds. But he ends up getting blicked down in the process, and he somehow survives. So once he survives, he decides to force feed this nigga Law the devil fruit, and he gives this nigga Law a note saying, yo, give this note to a marine on the island. And Law walks around looking for a marine that's on this island, and he runs into this one marine, hands him the note, but it's probably the worst marine he could have ran into, because he ran into this nigga Virgo, which is an undercover mole for DOFLAMINGO. So once he reads that note and sees all the stuff Corazon's been saying and learned that he's been a spy, he pulls back up on this nigga Corazon and beats the shit out of him. He gives this nigga the beats, and he ain't done there. He also gives this nigga Law the beats. After Virgo is done beating the rat piss out of Corazon, DOFLAMINGO and his family pull up on the island and they looking for this nigga. And this nigga DOFLAMINGO is heated. He's out here killing everybody that's in his way, cause he just found out his brother's a rat. But this time he had a clue that his brother might be a rat, because the 6 months that this nigga Corazon was gone, the world government was off his ass. But the second Corazon was with them, the world government was back on his ass. So he had an assumption that someone on his crew was a rat, but he just did not know it was his brother. So he's tight right now. He's at the island killing everyone in his way. He sets up the bird cage, making sure nobody leaves, and he's looking for his brother. And they finally found him. And DOFLAMINGO's family, they get their hands on him first. They start beating the rat piss out of this nigga Corazon. They start playing baseball with his body, and they're not even done with that. While he's on the ground, they're kicking him saying, how could you do this? How could you be a rat? How could you do this to your own family? And they're still heated. They're still beating the shit out of this nigga. And DOFLAMINGO finally pulls up and he says, my brother, you know how hard it is to kill my own flesh and blood, but I got to do this. You ratted on your own family. This is all we have to have left. And this nigga Corazon decides to pull out a blick thinking he gonna do something, but this nigga DOFLAMINGO got quick draw, so he starts blicking this nigga down, put about 10 rounds in his body, in his own brother, and left him bloody dead, just laid out on the floor. Now when I saw this, I knew this nigga DOFLAMINGO was a demon, because not only did he kill his dad, not only did his mom die, but he just killed the last remaining sibling he had left, and he just did not give a fuck at all, because he killed him in cold blood and just straight up left that island, didn't even bury him, left him dead right in front of that little nigga Law. This nigga DOFLAMINGO is a demon. He was probably the most sinister nigga I'd ever seen in any anime. Now I could go much deeper on this sinister nigga DOFLAMINGO, but I'ma leave it here for right now. If y'all want to see a part 2 on this demon DOFLAMINGO, go ahead and like up the video and I'm gonna make a part 2. But other than that, I'm out.